Good morning. Just making sure we're streaming. So welcome to week 105 on burdens. So on Tuesday, we started with the notion that sometimes we're part of a dynamic that we might not be, like we accept it, so we might not be carrying quote unquote our share of the burden, in the sense that there's thoughts and feelings that we've attracted based on our way of thinking. We've attracted these emotions and we've decided I'm not going to feel them because I accept the situation. And that perhaps that then means that other people in the dynamic are carrying or feeling these emotions that have not been processed. And instead of seeing it in a selfish way that you are carrying these emotions as though you're not accepting the situations, that you really allow yourself to feel these emotions that you've attracted. You've attracted them for a reason, and it's okay to feel them even if you don't need anything changed because you've accepted it. And similarly, if there's a dynamic where someone is expressing that they are feeling, a burden, or excessively feeling a burden, to just look inward, because often that comes as a surprise, especially if we think, they're in the better position, and that comes as a surprise that they would feel that way. And just to look, where have I not been processing the emotions that I'm attracting, so that it's not a burden to anyone else. And there was also the dynamic of just carrying burdens, in the sense of it's not an emotion I've attracted, but someone is grieving. And see, when I grieve with that person, that I might be removing some of that grief, that burden that they're feeling. So a few different angles to look at it, but we'll continue that work today in today's meditation. So let's practice that together now. I invite you to lower your gaze or close your eyes, whichever is more comfortable for you and minimizes distractions, and just take a deep grounding and centering breath, remaining fully present to the breath from the very beginning of the inhale to the end of the exhale. And invite a sense of ease and flow to this moment, a feeling of being more grounded, more present. And release all the tension in your body and your mind with the out breath. Be intentional as you breathe out, to breathe out everything that is not present. Allow the in-breath to breathe in whatever is, and the out-breath to breathe out whatever is in the past. And just give yourself permission to sink into a feeling of release. Let yourself sink into the chair where you're seated, feeling weightier, a little heavier, just sinking in. Just make sure that your back is relaxed but upright, and that your head is resting without adding pressure on your spine. Your arms are resting at your sides, and you're releasing all tension in your hands by gently opening them. And allow the muscles on your face to soften, starting with your jaw, your tongue, your forehead, and the muscles around your eyes. Notice any pains or aches or discomfort slowly vanishing, as though melting away. As your facial muscles relax, your entire body relaxes. Let your facial muscles relax a little bit more, a little bit more. Imagine a melting candle. And then feel that feeling of relaxation dropping through your entire body and out of the soles of your feet. Just grounded to the earth. And then feel yourself grounded to the floor or the earth beneath your feet in that energy, that melting, softening. And now bring to mind someone who is suffering. It might be grief, might be an injustice, might be an argument or a misunderstanding. Just trust whoever the first person that came to mind who might be suffering. Maybe someone came to mind and you didn't think of them as suffering. Just be present with that person that came to mind. Just see if you can feel what they're feeling, what energy is around them. And give yourself permission to feel whatever is arising as you imagine being beside this person. Just quietly sitting in the same room. What emotions arise for you? And give yourself permission to simply feel, knowing that you're perfectly safe. This is a good time, a perfect time to feel and process, knowing that your breath is the anchor to the moment. If it starts to feel unsafe, you can focus on your breath. Take a deep breath. You can even stand and raise your arms up in the air if you feel unsafe. But this moment is good and safe to feel, to be present, to process. Allow any emotions in the room to be seen and heard, to deliver their message. And in that sense, removing or reducing the burden that others are carrying emotionally, energetically. And sometimes it's not necessarily our emotions or energy. And we can choose whether or not we want to carry it for that person. But sometimes we can tune in and notice that that was ours. We attracted that. And we just haven't allowed ourselves to feel it. We wanted to be the bigger person. We were accepting of the situation. We thought we were okay with it, but still there were lingering thoughts and emotions that we kept at bay. Somehow thinking that being the bigger person meant we didn't have to feel how we felt. That feeling how we felt might send the wrong message. And so feeling however you feel and allowing that to be okay. There's nothing selfish about feeling the way you feel. And just imagine as you feel into and process the energy or emotions in the room, helping someone carry their burden. Just imagine that is flowing right through you with each breath, letting it in, with the out breath, letting it out. And these emotions are just flowing through you and then released, dissipated from this room, sent back into the universe. They've been freed and they're no longer in the room. And just feel the energy, the emotions in the room, as though with like a thermometer, noticing slowly dropping, removing all the tension, removing all the grief. Removing all the quote unquote negative emotions. Notice yourself feeling lighter. Just noticing you have this power to feel and process emotions, that instead of lingering and attaching themselves to others, giving them additional burden, they're now being released back to the universe. They're being removed from your physical space by being processed, by being heard. Notice yourself feel a little lighter because you've given yourself permission to feel how you feel. Not because you want to hold on to it, but because you're ready to let it go. And if it's not your emotions, if you've chosen to help someone else carry theirs, just notice the feeling of connection. Maybe by feeling somebody else's grief or sadness or feelings of injustice, whatever they're feeling. That by carrying their burden, knowing you can release them by feeling, you can release these emotions, that it gives you permission to feel your feelings and emotions too. Feeling a little bit more adequate or capable of processing emotions. No longer needing to keep them at bay, fearing what will happen if you allow yourself to feel. Just feel yourself expanding with each emotion that you process. Feeling more and more comfortable with processing emotions. Knowing that it's not something you have to hold on to. You can let emotions flow with the breath. One full breath in, fully feeling in every cell of your body, fully processing this emotion. And then full breath out, fully releasing. Feel yourself letting go, feeling more ease. And then you can imagine that other person or other people maybe feeling more ease too, perhaps not really knowing why. Their burden just feels a little lighter. Imagine holding hands or holding that person in your arms, feeling a little bit more connected. Notice if any new emotions arise. They might be related or unrelated. Maybe other emotions that you haven't allowed yourself to process, wanting their turn. Maybe there's a long line. But this time, instead of dreading having to feel or process those emotions, imagine even the worst of emotion just happy in the lineup, finally having its turn being processed. Maybe not being the negative emotion that we originally thought it was. Just a messenger, giving you an opportunity to grow, an opportunity to experience, an opportunity to be more fully alive, fully present, fully in your wholeness, fully able to receive each moment just as it is. Not having to push away any emotion. Just trusting that even if you've accepted the moment, you've accepted the situation, that it's okay to feel however you feel. It's okay for others to feel however they feel. Your emotions are yours, and their emotions are theirs. And just having this sense of being curious when someone is angry or lashes out or expresses heavy emotions that surprise you. Be in a state of curiosity. That's interesting. And imagining a bubble around them so that those emotions are neatly held to them, not affecting your bubble, but giving yourself permission to see if any of those emotions might be yours. And only letting in those emotions that maybe you haven't allowed yourself to feel or carry because you thought that was the better thing to do at the time. And without being affected by their emotions or their energy, being safely secure in your own energy, giving yourself permission to process whatever is yours. Not because you have to, because you want to, because you feel the expansiveness of this exercise. You feel how it's growing, how it's protecting, how it's making you feel lighter, more alive, and more present, more aware of what others are going through, not letting it affect you, but being able to reflect on anything that might be yours. And letting the rest be theirs, unless you choose to carry more to help them out. It's always a choice, always up to you. And just imagine for a moment still being in your bubble, having processed all your emotions, so your bubble is perfectly clear, very light. Now just imagining each breath expanding that bubble, that energy field, expanding it, and sending this beautiful, peaceful energy to others if they're willing to accept it. Just sending it out to the other people in the room, maybe to everyone on the whole earth. And take a final deep breath, this time to infuse this experience into every cell of your body. Just remembering that feeling is not selfish. Not feeling is not the bigger thing to do. And just feel or inhale a sense of peace and gratitude, allowing a smile to form on your face, for giving yourself permission to feel, be here, and practice. Slowly letting that imagery, the room, the bubble, slowly fade away as you begin to feel yourself back in your body, feeling the weight of the chair where you're rested, noticing sounds in the room, smells, tastes, the feeling of your clothing on your skin, any itchiness or tingling. And very slowly beginning the process of coming back, just like you might from a deep sleep. There's no rush to come back. You might want to stretch, move parts of your body. Just give yourself permission to feel and indulge in whatever your body needs right now as you slowly return. very slowly and peacefully bring yourself back. There's no need to rush back, but when you're ready, you can go ahead and open your eyes, and then remember to take a moment to make notes of any thoughts or insights you might have had during the meditation in your journal or notebook, remembering that there is power to putting your experience into words. Words have power. And then again, remembering that these practices don't have to take 30 minutes out of your day. It's just one breath of awareness, one breath where you're fully present to that breath and noticing what emotions you're keeping at bay. What emotion have you not allowed yourself to feel? And giving yourself permission to breathe in that emotion, knowing that you can fully release it with the out breath. And if it's more intense than you would like, you always have the option to dance after the breath and let it out fully. So thank you again for taking the time to practice with me today. If you're here with me live, we'll write together for 5 minutes. And then if you're so inclined, we can share thoughts or insights. And if you're not here live, I hope you have a wonderful day and week ahead. Thank you again.